man. Doing a video on it. Yeah, let's do it. Like, for real.
Today's guest is a true friend, a real brother.
Yeah, you've called me since 2003.
You shut up, Bill. People don't know that. This is Bill Burr, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm Bill Burr. Now, Kevin Hart was somebody that I thought I was friends with, but I realized quickly that he just needed a spot at Dangerfields. And then he booked a pilot, and I don't think I talked to him again. I had like kids, and I didn't hear from you.
Bill Burr, ladies and gentlemen.
Crazy to me,
We're getting into the
like,
mind of Bill Burr.
I hope that ain't real.
For his own podcast.
Bill, are you ready for this? This is the best part that I think. This is what's mind blowing that people are going to love. Bill Burr.
You have your own name on your fucking sweatshirt.
Well, outside of that, I mean,
When are
I
you
don't
going
know
to
why
stop
you don't.
branding, Kev? We know who you are.
Just in case you didn't, Bill, I wore a shirt to remind you. What's the big fucking deal, man? All right, it's just a shirt.
Hoodie with Kevin Hart. I hand out hoodies to homeless people because I care about downtown LA. Go see Jumanji Part 19. The studio system has ruined you.
Bill is not angry, first of all, to our listeners. Bill is not an angry person. Bill is a very happy person. Bill is a married man. He's a father now. Congrats on that, Bill, by the way.
I got 2 kids. I had another one. I was going to call you, but I knew you wouldn't return the call.
No.
I don't think my last movie did well enough to have you send over your little heart of the city fruit basket, you piece of
What are you
shit.
talking about? I would have sent you a bottle of Heart wine from the vineyard. What are you talking about, man? I told you.
Kevin Hart is fake.
Bill,
I love the title of the vineyard.
The title of
can we
the
tell the
video?
people,
Your
Bill,
little
that
ass
you
get
and
out there and stomp on the grapes.
Yeah, I do. So fuck off. I do. Bill and I did a pilot.
I'm gonna clickbait the fuck
we did
out
a
of people.
pilot for Comedy Central.
It was called Heart of the Shitty, and it wasn't picked up.
Yeah, yes, let me clear this up. This is before I got big. Bill and I did a show.
It was right before. No, you were already starting to blow up. And I remember there was a moment where we were actually going to tour together. We were going to do the black and white tour because I was almost ready to go to theaters. You had just started going to theaters. And then a week later, you went to arenas. And that's when you stopped calling me.
Yeah, like, after, like, I'm a Grown Little Man and Laugh at My Pain. I think it was Laugh at My Pain, bro. Arenas, he went crazy, bro. He blew up and never looked back, bro.
No.
That's when it was, Kev.
I stopped calling you after the show didn't get picked up because I felt like you fucked me. I said Bill Burr
You
fucked
weren't going
me.
up to the clubs until 4 a.m. and then showing up thinking you're going to Eddie Murphy your way through it and start improvising. You took that whole thing down with you. I'm still bitter about it.
Bill, I would love if we could get our hands.
Opportunity to get screwed over by Viacom.
Do you think I'm willing to bet you, Bill, I can probably get my hands on that pilot? I'm willing to bet you I can, man. I would love to get my hands on that fucking pilot just for you and I, because we can't show it. We can't do shit with it.
How much fun was it? I'm walking around, but Bruce McCullough, you and me, dude, that was so much goddamn fun. I
will say this, man. Bill Burr, for those who do not know it, lately, as of late, I mean, Bill, you're popping up all over the place as far as acting.
Yup, and now that's why you want Bill Burr now, huh? Because he's finally in the stage, you fake ass nigga.
But
I'm keeping the same energy.
Staten Island movie, what's the name? With Pete Davidson. What's the title of it, Bill?
I don't know. It was called Jumanji Part.
It wasn't called.
It's the King of Staten Island.
Jumanji, that's my movie. What the fuck was it called, man?
Get Hard.
That's another one of my movies, Bill.
Wait, I get
the
it.
King of Staten Island.
Soul Plane with white
Fuck off. Those are my movies,
United
Bill.
Airlines.
God damn it. He said United Airlines. What was it called, Bill?
It's called The King of Staten Island.
The King of Staten Island.
Judd Apatow and Pete Davidson. Judd Apatow, who ruined my friendship with you because you booked his pilot and I never heard from you again. You left me, Kev.
Bill, I want to say in this movie, you did what I knew back then when we did that pilot, man. Bill has always been you've been a phenomenal comedic actor. And you know they say that
Nah, I mean, I get what he's about to say, but if you really want to see Bill Burr acting crazy, like his great acting chops, see him in The Mandalorian. All right? Like the second time you see him in The Mandalorian, I think it's season 2 or something. Season 2 or 3, bro. He's crazy.
We don't have it. It says comedians can't make the transition. A lot of comedians fail in making that transition. I mean, a lot of people
said that
say
specifically.
Who
Don't
said
put
it?
Donald Trump on me. Don't start telling me that people are saying shit.
Listen, what they're doing.
Nah. It's a thing that's been said for generations. Like I've heard that comedians can only do comedic type movies. Like, and it's also kind of funny because when you think about it, how many comedians have you seen do different types of roles? Like, all of them did comedy, right? The Richard Pryors, Eddie Murphy is one of the very few that didn't really, like, he did comedy, but he also tried to do action with like the Beverly Hills Cops, but even that was action comedy, right? I don't really know any celebrities in the olden eras of like comedy that, like, you know what I mean, that didn't do comedy when they were in movies. Any like comedic celebrity did comedic movies. Y'all two is like some of the rarest niggas to do different shit realistically.
They're saying
everybody knows it. You know what? I know it. Everybody knows. That's my favorite thing. I use that now on my wife. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows.
Everybody
knows
it. What are you saying?
Name me five. Name me five comedians that you know that have gone on to be amazing dramatic actors. You can't. I don't think you can name me three. And I think if you could name me three, I think you would put Bill Burr and Kevin Hart there, right? Like, who? No, not Dave Chappelle. It's these two niggas. You know what I mean? Even Brett from Get Out, the black dude from Get Out, he played a comedic role in Get Out. He wasn't there to be dramatic. You know what I mean?
People say it. People fucking say it.
Everybody says it. You know it.
Everybody.
I know it. Everybody says it.
They've said the comedians couldn't act for years. But Bill Burr, you cracked the code. You cracked the fucking code, man. And back then when we did that pilot, the reason why I brought up you during The King of Staten Island, because you did a fucking phenomenal job in that movie. But back when we did that pilot is when I got to see, I was like, yo, Bill can actually fucking act. Bill's good. Because I was coming in, like you said, with the improv, and I'm coming in with all this shit, and not once were you ever flustered. You were never bothered by it.
I was annoyed, and I just used that. You were like going out, I don't know, wherever the hell you were going out, Sky Bar every damn night. Dude, you said one of the funniest things ever to me on that pilot. Because in between takes, you know, before I shaved my head, I was losing it back here, and they'd come in doing all this stuff. You said, Bill looks like a fighter in between rounds. When we were in between takes, everybody coming in. It was out of all the shit people have been talking, I'm not saying it as funny as you said it, but that was one of my favorite things. You know, comedians, we love to get trashed. So that was one of my favorite things anybody ever said to me.
He does.
I can say during that pilot,
I can see that.
You and I, we had a fucking amazing time. We had a blast. And the show actually came out good. The show was funny. Of course, things don't work because they just don't work. But the show was fucking funny, man. And it's the last thing that people would expect to see. Though? Which part? What?
Because we niced it up.
Yeah.
What we wanted to do, what was going to happen? You were going to have a drinking problem, and I was going to have something, but we weren't going to have that pilot.
Yes.
So we did a nicer version of it. You, me, and Bruce. And I'll go, okay, man, once we get the audience, then we'll start getting darker.
Then we'll go dark.
Yeah, we'll give them exactly what they want.
For now, yeah, let's give it to them now.
Yeah, there's no way this isn't getting picked up.
It has to. What are you talking? You, me, Burr, look at us. We're right on the cusp.
That shit
We're giving them what they want, and then they told us to go fuck ourselves.
Fucking gave us a big boot. That's what they did.
Big boot. We got the old industry boot.
Bill Burr, from Boston, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know it.
Suburbs. Big suburbs of Boston. Not good for hunting.
The suburbs of Boston.
Suburbs. They don't make movies about where I'm from.
What part is it exactly, Bill?
It's the South Shore, Canton, Massachusetts.
I know South Shore. I'm very familiar with that.
Music Circus?
I mean, I know what the fuck it is. I've been there. I've been around that part. I didn't hear anybody mention you when I was there either. We'll talk about that offline.
You just doing some road work? Were you like jogging down the street with your hands wrapped?
While you fucking around, I swear to God I was. It's when we.
You know what's funny about you? One time,
intelligence.
I remember you trying to show me how fast you were boxing, and I'm sitting there going, "Kev, I'm a 40-year-old white comedian. Like, this is not impressive. You should be able to touch me."
This is not.
I swear to God, for your listeners, we were in some stupid parking lot, and he's going, "Look, I'm fast." Doing all this stuff. I'm just like, "All right, Kev, you're fast. I get it."
That sounds like.
You almost seem taller when you're doing that, Kev. Wow, that's amazing.
That sounds like him.
I remember, man. I don't think there's anybody that I can annoy more than Bill Burr. I have probably triggered some of Bill Burr's angriest reactions in the New York City comedy clubs.
No.
I'm talking about of annoyance. I remember, Bill, when we were teasing you one day.
More than Patrice? No.
No, Patrice used to piss you off.
More than Keith? No.
All right, you're right. I was probably in fourth or fifth place.
No, you came in quick.
Patrice used to get you. Patrice used to get you, for sure. And Patrice got you.
I never worried about you, but Patrice, if I knew he was going to be there, I would have like 5 things to say about him. Like I would came in like locked and loaded just to try and hit him.
Until this day.
And then I'd say all 5 in the first minute, and then I was fucked.
You know what, man? Until this day, I still don't understand
Patrice
how
O'Neal
a
is a
funeral
demon.
happened and they turned it into a comedy club. Until this day, Patrice O'Neal, how they turned it
that funeral was great. That was one of the best shows I've ever been to.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. You know, for our listeners,
You
Patrice
bugged
O'Neal.
me at the funeral. You bugged me.
I did.
Because you showed up, you were wearing like a pair of Jordan 1s. You looked like you were going to do a spot at Caroline's. I'm like, that's what I said. I go, Kev, this is a funeral, man. You're dressed like you're going to go do a spot at Stand Up New York. And you said what you said. You go, no, Bill, I'm dressed like the comic who made it. You said that at a funeral. I was like, I know this guy's an asshole. I didn't know he's that much of an asshole. You almost had me saying, well, I played Carnegie Hall one time. I almost said that at a funeral for my friend. That's how much of an asshole you are.
What the fuck? We went to Patrice O'Neal's funeral. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we had so many comedians. First of all, Patrice was one of the most loved guys, I mean, on the scene.
All right, let's not throw too much. He was also one of the most hated, too.
Yes, but he was a comics comic. He was a comics comic. The comics loved him.
If you were funny, you loved him.
Yes, if you weren't funny, you hated him. Because he let you know that you stood no chance in this business.
If you weren't funny, you stopped working the Village, because that's where he was. You stayed uptown.
You didn't want any problems with that, because he was the guy to go, ugh, this guy, God, who let,
I remember Eddie If one time said, dude, he goes, some nights I'll walk into the cellar, and he'll yell across the room, hey, Eddie! And he goes, and I think, he saw me. Dude, dudes like that used to come into the upstairs at the Olive Tree, and they used to try to pick the first open seat to just, slink in and stay away from him.
Oh, yeah.
That's all. We hope you had a blast witnessing the verbal jousting between comedic heavyweights Bill Burr and Kevin Hart.
That's dope. I didn't know what this was. Okay. Was there a video to this, or? That was interesting. All right, man. For YouTube, bro, like, subscribe. You know what it is. But that was lit. That's how we roll.